Tettey, everybody knows he's out of contract in the summer, which probably means from January he could speak to other clubs. I mean, how are you handling that with him? I mean, has there been any talks? I mean, what's your thoughts in terms of that contractual situation with Alex?
Yeah, to be honest, as a coach, you're a little bit more focused and concentrated on the short term and then on the next weeks. And I was looking forward for him to give him the time to recreate and to do his re-up. And it was nearly 8 weeks we had to do without him. Only nearly 9 weeks we had to do without him. And he missed sadly a lot of games, but it was important that he recreates and comes back in a good shape. And I think Alex doesn't have to prove anything. So because he proved a lot in the recent years and also in this season how important he can be for our midfield, for our balance, for the club. He's a guy with a brilliant character and is always there with an unbelievable professional attitude. But I think it's quite important, especially for the little bit older players, to give them some time. It's not so that you have to get too nervous when the contract runs out or whatever. I think he really enjoys life here in Norwich, and he really appreciates that he's allowed to play for this club, and the same for us. So we really appreciate that we have Alex in our squad. And to be honest, I don't think so much about what will happen in, I don't know, 8 months or whatever. It's more like I think about the next 8 weeks. And but for me, it's all I can say is I really appreciate to have a lad like Alex in our squad, and to have him there. And I really like to work with him, and I hope we can work further on. Yes, 100%, because in general, you have to say he's perhaps one of the biggest surprise in this period, because he came here like a young centre back from the fourth tier in Germany. It's more like you think, okay, he's perhaps the fourth choice or whatever. So when there are some injuries problems, but he adapts so soon to the English football and to the Championship, and I think in general he was there with all in all a really brilliant performance. So because he was so important during our really proper run with 10 unbeaten games and club record of clean sheets, he was so important. He was in the squad. And he's always there with a great attitude. He's a brilliant character, an intelligent guy. So he really totally identifies with the club. And I think it's totally deserved that he signs this new contract. And we are also happy because he's a player who still has to improve. So in the recent weeks, he was struggling in 1 or 2 games with some mistakes. But in general, I think it was really a really good performance, and a good sign also for our way, that we said, okay, we want to work with players who are running up the hill and not going down the hill. So I think that's a good sign, and also with his character. And we want players who are desperate to play for Norwich, who play with all the passion and identify with the club. And I think it's a good sign that he signed a new contract, and I'm happy for him, and also happy for us. Yes. Yeah, first of all, I think we have to make some compliments for Stuart Webber and also his scouting, because he was a guy who knows Sean Raggett before. So when I arrived, I was more concentrated on the players who were here, and he gave him a contract, and then he sent him on loan. Was I think totally the right decision, because he shines really bright right now on loan, and it's also a good option that he can return right now. Yeah, we are good in our centre-backs positions. We are good in defending right now, but you never know what will happen in the next 4 or 5 weeks. So there can be injuries, there can be bookings. In January, so transfer window will open. There will be always some speculations or whatever, perhaps some interest for some clubs. And I think it's good to have the option with Sean that he can return in January, because he's a bit like Christoph, still a young player with a lot of potential, and right now he proves his worth. And he will come back, and then we will see what will happen, because we want to work a bit with him also in the training. We will see what happened in the next 5 weeks, because there are many games with with injuries or something like this, and I think it's quite a good option. And for that, a big compliment for Stuart and the scouting that we have this option, because we had him several times during the international break, even in training, Sean, and he's a good guy, and he adapted pretty soon. And I think we'll see when he trains constantly with us over a few days or a few weeks, how quick he's able to adapt to our style and to our level. And but yeah, we think he can adapt pretty soon, and it's a really good option, and I think a good option for us. When you look at Christoph Zimmermann, it's you can compare the situation. He was in the fourth tier in Germany too, and he adapted immediately. So, and he was able to play on a really high level on championship niveau. So I can remember a chat after the Arsenal game when he has to defend Oliver Giroud, and after the game, Arsene Wenger spoke a lot with me about Christoph Zimmermann and said, "Where did you find the guy?" I told him so. I didn't have to find the guy. I worked together with him the last 2 years. And, he was brilliant and something like this. So he adapted pretty soon to the championship level, and we got the same feeling with Sean. We got the feeling, okay, he can adapt. There's no 100% guarantee for this, but for that, I think it's important to have him and to have a deeper look on him in the training over a few weeks and whatever. And yeah, we trust him that he was able to do this, because he's right now not 18 anymore, but he's also in a good age. And yeah, we will see what is the best option. So there's no decision right now, and we will have the decision somewhere in January.
Did you see there's a little line about Ben Godfrey a couple of days ago, 1 or 2 Premier League clubs looking at him? I mean, what do you make in general terms? I mean, is that a compliment to the guy? He's obviously done very well at Shrewsbury. How do you take that in terms of what it means for him and his Norwich future?
First of all, it's a good sign, because it means that he's shining pretty bright in loan, and that's exactly what we want. And I don't go too deep with speculation that a Premier League club is watching him, because when I was a coach of Dortmund's under 23, for each and every game there was 60 scouts in nearly each and every Premier League club. So there were clubs of Manchester United was nearly in each and every game. There are scouts of Manchester United, Chelsea, and they didn't sign a player of me. So for that, I don't think so. When there's a scout of a Premier League club, that means they give everything to sign Ben Godfrey. And otherwise, it would be pretty expensive, 100%, because Ben is a good guy. Is one of our young starlets out of the academy, and we had the feeling it is important for him right now in this moment to play constantly, and he plays. So right now, I think he has 20 starting lineup appearances, and that helps him. It's important for a young player. Sometimes you have to wait a bit, but then there's a moment. You have to come into your rhythm and to play games in order to improve, and that's exactly what he does, and in an important role. So he plays in the holding midfielder position, or at least pretty often in this position. Pretty important position for the game, and he's there was a high importance for the game, and that helps, and it's just good for us. And if some other clubs are thinking, okay, he's doing well, it's just a good sign for us, because if we would be the only club in the world who thinks, okay, Ben Godfrey is a good player, then we would have a problem. If some other clubs who are not stupid, so they realize that he's a good player, it's a good sign for our player, and I'm happy for that. Our plan was to let Ben away for 1 year, because we got the feeling, okay, he's right now in the age where he needs some games, and Sean Raggett played several seasons right now constantly, so had a lot of games on this level, and Ben, with all fair respect, he has right now just 20 games on this level. So normally our plan was to give him more games, to give him a complete season. But it's a bit the same, because you never know what happens in the next 5 weeks with injuries or something like this. But normally the plan is to let Ben there, and that he plays 1 year in his rhythm, and he comes back and as a really settled player in the summer. But we have the option in January, and right now we don't have to take a final decision. But I think it would be good normally for him to play further on.
There is actually a game tomorrow, so
yes,
let's get on to that.
It is.
Leeds.
Yeah, I think Leeds, we don't have to speak about it. So it's always a tough place to go. So a massive club, massive history, also high expectations. They had different runs, a bit like us. So in the not in the same periods, but they had a brilliant start of the season. Were in the top positions on the table. Then a really tough run, even tougher than our last run. Like I said, so with 7 losses, I think in 8 games. But then in last week, so they stabilized a bit. Yeah, it's a sign how close the championship is together, and that everything can happen. And right now I think they're in a good position, 7 in the table, so pretty close to the playoff positions. And they will be desperate to have a next home win to try to force their way back into the playoff position. So, and I think they will be there with confidence after a really proper last away win. So it is a tough place to go, 1%. But we had some tough places in this season, and we played some really good teams, especially in the away games, and we were successful as well. So we're going to Leeds and trying to have another good result. So to be honest, when you go to Leeds, 1 point is always normally a good result in the away game at Leeds. But I think we also have the chance to be really successful and also to win games away. So we won at Sheffield United, we won at Middlesbrough, we won at Reading, at Ipswich. So we proved that we are able to win each and every game. And when I think about our last away game at Cardiff, I think it was quite close that we won at a team who never lost a home game and is in position 2 in the table. And for that, I think we can go to Leeds very respectful and know that's a really strong squad, but also with a big will to win some points, 1%. Yeah, I think we need to find a good balance. 1%. We need to defend pretty well and pretty compact, and to put the offensive strength of Leeds away, because they have a lot of individual quality, especially in their offense. Yeah, but I think it's also important to create chances and ourselves to try to score. And I think that's especially this is an area we improved a lot, especially in the recent weeks. So we create a lot of chances in the away game at Cardiff. We created a lot of chances, especially in the second half. Against Sheffield, we scored 3 times in one half. And we're looking forward to score goals, not only to park the coach in front of our goal and then hope and pray a bit that we have a clean sheet and a 0-0, or sometimes a 2 times deflected shoot that we perhaps win with a lucky situation, 1-0 or something like that. It's also that we know that we are able to play really good football, and we are able to play even pretty good football against really strong squads, and that's what we're looking forward. So it's about to find a good balance between good defending, but also in creating chances and hopefully to scoring goals.